Everyone talks about New York's energy, LA's sprawl, or Vegas's nonstop spectacle. But what about a place where tropical beaches meet historic neighborhoods, where the ocean sets the rhythm by day and the city glows long after midnight? That's Miami. Pastel hotels glowing in the morning sun, palm trees swaying over turquoise water, streets where the sound of waves blends with bass lines drifting out of open doors. You can start the day barefoot on warm sand, wander past Art Deco buildings frozen in time, then glide through canals lined with million-dollar homes before sunset. Miami is bold, colorful, a little chaotic, and completely alive. And just when you think it never slows down, Fort Lauderdale steps in. Calmer, greener, a city shaped by waterways instead of highways, where boats drift past backyards and the pace finally exhales. This isn't just a beach trip. It's 4 days, 2 cities, and one perfectly balanced South Florida escape, built around rhythm, contrast, and knowing exactly when to slow down and when to floor it. Day 1. Big bus, Miami, Little Havana, Everglades, nightlife. Even though Miami and Fort Lauderdale are both popular beach attractions, they couldn't be more different. In reality, the only thing these two cities truly have in common is the beach. Almost everything else feels different. Miami is the hot, luxurious, high-energy city with the intense nightlife, while Fort Lauderdale is the laid-back, family-friendly, budget-conscious option. And precisely because of this, we decided to split our tour a little unevenly. Spend 3 days in Miami and 1 in Fort Lauderdale, all packed with lots of fun, excitement, and a little glamour. So when you first land at Miami International Airport, you'll be just 8 miles from the downtown area. Rent a car, grab an Uber, take the shuttle, do whatever you need to check into your hotel room fast, because there are a lot of places to visit and simply not enough time for all of them. After all, it'll probably be noon or later in the afternoon by the time you get everything done. So you don't have that much time. We're going to assume that you got everything done by noon. And that's good, because most of Miami doesn't really wake up until late morning. Your first move is hopping on the Big Bus Miami Sightseeing Tour. It's honestly the best way to get your bearings without melting into the sidewalk on your first day. You can walk to one of the main stops in downtown or South Beach, or Uber there for about $10 to $15 depending on traffic. Tickets usually run around $45 for a one-day hop-on, hop-off pass, and yes, it's paid, but it saves your legs and your sanity. From the open-top deck, you'll roll past South Beach, Ocean Drive, Wynwood, Little Havana, and downtown, with a guide feeding you fun facts and just enough Miami drama to keep things interesting. Plan about 2 hours here, hopping off briefly for photos, but mostly letting the bus do the work while you soak in the city. By around 2:30 p.m., hop off in Little Havana, because now it's time to eat and people watch. Getting here is easy since it's already on the bus route, and walking around is completely free. Calle Ocho is the heart of it all, and the vibe changes instantly. You'll see locals playing dominoes at Maximo Gomez Park like it's an Olympic sport, smell Cuban coffee strong enough to wake the dead, and hear salsa music leaking out of every doorway. Grab a Cuban sandwich or some ropa vieja at a local cafe. Sip on a cafecito and just wander. There's no ticket price, no schedule, just vibes. Spend about an hour and a half here, and don't be surprised if you leave slightly caffeinated and emotionally attached. Next up is the Everglades tour, which is the most Florida thing you'll do all day. Most tours pick you up directly from Miami Beach or downtown, so getting there is effortless. Expect to pay between $60 and $80 depending on the company, and yes, it's paid, but totally worth it. The ride out takes about an hour, giving you a break from the city before you're suddenly surrounded by endless grass, water, and suspiciously calm alligators. The airboat ride itself is fast, loud, and ridiculous in the best way. You can visit the Flamingo Visitor Center, where you can see manatees. If you're into canoes, there's the 9-mile Pond Canoe Trail. There's the Anhinga Trail, where you'll get to see gators swimming right by the walking trail. That'll definitely get your heart racing. Whether you skim across the wetlands or spot wildlife, you'll probably hear at least one joke about Florida men. Add in a short wildlife show and you're looking at about 4 hours total. You'll be back in Miami around 7:30 p.m., slightly sun-kissed, and very aware that alligators are real. Now clean up, change clothes, and get ready for Miami at night. Finish your day in South Beach at a nightlife staple like Live at the Fontainebleau or Story. Uber is the smartest move here, usually $15 to $25 depending on where you're staying. Cover charges range from $30 to $60, drinks are overpriced, and the energy is completely unhinged in the best way. You'll see celebrities you're not sure you recognize, music that hits way too hard, and dance floors that don't calm down until sunrise. Stay out as late as you want because in Miami, midnight is just the warm-up. Get back, get a little bit of sleep because tomorrow is going to be even more chaotic. Day 2, South Beach and Lummis Park, Art Deco Historic District, Lincoln Road, Espanola Way. You roll out of bed a little bit later today because, let's be honest, Miami nights don't always end before dawn. It's just before noon when you step out onto the sun-drenched streets and head straight for South Beach and Lummis Park, a combo that feels like Miami's open-air living room. South Beach is world famous for a reason. The crystal blue water and the soft sand underfoot are just tough to beat. Best way to get here? Uber or Lyft will drop you right by Ocean Drive for around $10 to $15 from most Miami Beach hotels. Or you can rent a city bike and pedal down with the salty breeze in your hair. The beach and Lummis Park are totally free, and here you'll spend about 2 hours splashing in the waves, lounging under an umbrella, and strolling the palm-lined boardwalk. Lummis Park stretches between 1st and 15th Streets and is perfect for watching volleyball games, rollerbladers zipping by, and maybe even spotting a local fitness enthusiast doing push-ups like it's no big deal. From there, you can get on board an eco-kayaking adventure or take an extravagant sail and go dolphin watching. By mid-afternoon, around 2 p.m., wander over to the Art Deco Historic District, which feels like stepping into a pastel postcard. This neighborhood is one of the largest collections of Art Deco architecture in the world, with nearly 800 buildings built between the 1920s and 1940s, all boasting porthole windows, curved metal rails, and neon dreams. Whether you join a guided tour, about $25, or just wander freely, it's fascinating to imagine how these streamlined pastel structures help revive South Beach from decline to global fame. If you're a fan of architectural history, plan to spend at least 90 minutes here, snapping photos of classics like the Colony Hotel and imagining yourself as a star in an old Hollywood film. Admission to explore the streets is free, however, guided tours cost extra if you choose to take one. As the sun tilts toward late afternoon, say 4 p.m., you'll find yourself drawn to Lincoln Road, Miami's iconic pedestrian mall that feels part chic European promenade and part Miami vibe central. Getting here is easy on foot from the Art Deco district, or a super cheap scooter ride will get you there in minutes. Lincoln Road stretches about 10 blocks, packed with shops, cafe patios, art galleries, and people who are clearly way better at vacationing than you. Grab a late lunch or an iced coffee, watch street performers juggle flaming torches, and check out everything from Nike to quirky boutique shops. Locals and travel guides alike call this the place to really feel the pulse of South Beach life. So spend a relaxed 2 hours here taking it all in. As evening rolls in, make your way to Espanola Way, which is like stumbling into a tiny European village smack in the middle of Miami. It's just a short stroll from Lincoln Road, and this charming pedestrian-only street is lined with Spanish-inspired buildings, alfresco dining, boutique shops, and live music floating through the air. Dinner is basically a must here, and you won't regret it when you see the wood-fired pizza, Mediterranean tapas, or Cuban-influenced treats as you soak up the old-world charm with palm trees overhead. Give yourself about 2 hours here to dine, twirl around the street like it's your own personal runway, and catch the sunset glow that makes Espanola Way feel almost magical. By the time you're full, sunlit, and happily exhausted, it's heading toward midnight. If your energy still lingers, stick around Espanola Way or head back to Lincoln Road for a nightcap under the neon lights. Day 3. Vizcaya Museum and Gardens, Bayside Marketplace, Dolphin Mall. No need to get up early because Miami's still waiting for you. And if you're in a good mood, maybe it's the sea breeze or maybe it's the 99-cent empanada you ate at 3 a.m. Either way, you're ready for another day of sightseeing. First stop is the stunning Vizcaya Museum and Gardens, a hidden gem that feels like stepping back into the Gilded Age. This place was once the lavish estate of James Deering, and today its Italian-inspired villa, ornate interiors, and beautifully manicured gardens overlooking Biscayne Bay make it one of Miami's most Instagrammable spots. You'll probably want to Uber or Lyft because it's a few miles away in Coconut Grove. Tickets are about $25 for adults and $10 for kids 6 to 12, with children under 5 free. Sure, it might be paid, but it's worth every penny for the history and beauty you'll get to explore. Inside the main house, you'll spend time wandering grand rooms filled with European art and antiques. Then wander outside through formal gardens with fountains, maze hedges, and views of the water that will make your camera work overtime. Budget around 2 to 3 hours here so you can truly soak it all in. And who knows, maybe you'll snap that photo that says, "I visited Miami, but actually moved to Italy." By mid-afternoon, around 3:30 p.m., you should be getting ready to head over to Bayside Marketplace, which is a lively, open-air shopping and entertainment complex right on the water. The easiest way from Vizcaya is a rideshare, about $15 to $20, but for a budget traveler, you could even take Miami's free trolley systems around town. The Miami Beach Trolley runs daily from around 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and connects many hotspots with frequent service. The Miami Beach Trolley runs multiple routes throughout Miami Beach from morning until night, about 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., with service every 15 to 20 minutes. Just make sure you check the stop maps and hop on at a designated stop. The good thing about walking into Bayside is that it's 100% free. As soon as you step in, you'll instantly feel the Miami energy with waterfront views, a marina full of boats, live music, and dozens of shops and eateries. You can browse boutiques, pick up souvenirs, or just grab a seat by the water with an iced drink and watch seaplanes take off over Biscayne Bay. Around the marketplace, you can also book optional boat tours or speedboat rides if you want to see Miami from the water. It's one of those places where you can choose to chill or choose to spend money, but you don't have to pay to enjoy the vibe. Plan to spend about 2 hours here wandering and snacking. Around 6 p.m., you'll break for dinner. Maybe grab a pizza or Cuban sandwich near South Beach. And by 7:30 p.m., it's time to leave Miami behind, and journey west to Dolphin Mall before heading north to Fort Lauderdale. Dolphin Mall is one of South Florida's largest outlet shopping centers with free parking, outlet deals, and over 240 stores, including Burlington, Off Fifth, Bass Pro Shops, and more. It's the perfect way to blow off steam, and maybe your budget, before checking into your Fort Lauderdale hotel. Whether you're bargain hunting or just strolling in air-conditioned comfort. Spend about 2 to 2.5 hours here browsing bargains, picking up gifts, or grabbing a late bite at one of the casual restaurants inside. Finally, around 10 p.m., call an Uber to whisk you to the final leg of your journey up to Fort Lauderdale. As you roll into your hotel around midnight, you'll have just enough energy to collapse into bed. And as Miami's neon nights fade in the rearview mirror, everything slows. Because Fort Lauderdale isn't about chasing the noise. It's about letting the water set the pace. Day 4. Water Taxi, Bonnet House Museum, Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, Airboat. You wake up early on your final day because Fort Lauderdale actually rewards morning people. The air is cooler, the water is calmer, and the city feels relaxed instead of rushed. After a quick breakfast, your first stop is the Water Taxi Canal Tour, which is hands down the most fun way to understand why Fort Lauderdale is called the Venice of America. The easiest way to get there is by Uber or a short walk if you're staying near Las Olas or the beach. A full-day water taxi pass usually costs around $38 for adults, and it's paid. But it doubles as both transportation and sightseeing, so you can be smart and plan accordingly. Once on board, you cruise through miles of canals lined with mega mansions, yachts that look like floating condos, historic homes, and waterfront bars. The narrated tour adds stories about the city's history, famous residents, and how this whole canal system came to exist. You'll want to spend about 2 hours hopping on and off, soaking in the views, and realizing that some people casually park boats that cost more than entire neighborhoods. Late morning, around 11 a.m., hop off near the beach to visit the Bonnet House Museum and Gardens. This place feels like a secret hiding in plain sight. Getting here is easy from the water taxi stop or by a quick ride share. Admission is paid, usually around $25 for adults, and it's absolutely worth it. Bonnet House was once the winter retreat of artist Frederick Clay Bartlett, and today it's a beautifully preserved estate filled with original art, quirky architecture, and wild gardens that blend tropical Florida with old-world design. Inside the house, you'll see hand-painted ceilings and period furnishings, while outside you'll wander through orchid gardens, mangroves, and paths where peacocks casually strut like they own the place. Plan to spend about an hour and a half here, moving at a relaxed pace. By early afternoon, it's time to walk or Uber a few minutes south to Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, one of Fort Lauderdale's best surprises. Entry is paid, but cheap, usually about $6 per vehicle, or free if you walk in. This park stretches between the Intracoastal Waterway and the beach and offers shaded trails, open lawns, picnic areas, and scenic waterfront views. You'll see locals biking, kayaking, paddleboarding, or just escaping the heat under massive banyan trees. It's a perfect contrast to Miami's nonstop energy. Spend around 2 hours here walking the trails, grabbing a cold drink, and enjoying the slower pace before your final big adventure. Now you could stop there, but why not go full Florida with airboat rides? Most airboat tours operate just outside the city in the Everglades, and the best way to get there is by booking a tour that includes hotel pickup or taking an Uber for about 45 minutes. Prices typically range from $45 to $65 per person, and it's paid, loud, windy, and unforgettable. It's basically like the most awesome tour of the Everglades, skimming fast over water and sawgrass. By the time you're back in Fort Lauderdale around sunset, you're tired in the best possible way. Grab dinner near Las Olas Boulevard, toast to surviving 4 packed days, and enjoy your final night. And since we're talking about dinner, getting around, stays, and food. All right, before you book anything, let's quickly lock down the 3 things that can make or break this trip: where you stay, how you get around, and what you eat. If you want peak Miami energy, the Fontainebleau Miami Beach is iconic. Beachfront, massive pools, nightlife on site, this place feels like Miami turned up to 11. If you want something more boutique and walkable, the Betsy Hotel on Ocean Drive is classy, stylish, and right across from the beach without feeling overwhelming. And if you prefer modern vibes in a central location, East Miami in Brickell is sleek, artsy, and perfectly placed near transit and great dining. For Fort Lauderdale, things slow down in the best way. The Ritz-Carlton Fort Lauderdale is the luxury choice. It's on the ocean front, polished, and ideal if you want to actually relax. If you want something trendier and closer to the action, the Dalmar downtown gives you modern rooms, a rooftop pool, and easy access to Las Olas Boulevard. Now let's talk food, because Miami doesn't mess around. Versailles and Little Havana is non-negotiable. You've got Cuban classics, legendary cafecito, zero regrets. Joe's Stone Crab is a Miami institution, expensive but unforgettable. La Sandwichery is perfect for beach days or late nights, while KYU in Wynwood delivers elevated wood-fired dishes in a cool setting. And for dessert, Azucar Ice Cream Company serves Cuban-inspired flavors you'll still be thinking about on the flight home. In Fort Lauderdale, keep it chill and tasty. Coconuts gives you waterfront seafood and pure vacation vibes. Louis Bossi's is the go-to Italian spot on Las Olas, and El Vez delivers bold Mexican flavors with a fun atmosphere. In a nutshell, just stay central, uber smart, eat everything, and this trip basically runs itself. The best time to visit. If you're wondering when's the best time to visit, then plan to go there from March through early May. This is when South Florida is warm but not brutally hot, with lower humidity and generally drier weather. Days sit comfortably in the mid-70s to low 80s, the ocean is perfect for swimming, and everything, from beaches to nightlife, feels alive without being overwhelming. Spring also dodges hurricane season and the worst summer crowds. December through February is also great weather-wise, especially if you're escaping winter. But prices jump hard, and crowds swell thanks to snowbirds and holiday travelers. It's beautiful, just not cheap. Oh, and finally, as if you didn't know this already, June through September is the toughest window to visit. It might be more budget-friendly, but you don't want to fight off hurricane weather. And before you know it, those 4 days in South Florida are gone. You've strolled, sipped, shopped, and explored, all while soaking up culture, history, and a little bit of magic that only Florida can offer. And at the end of the days, only our memories are eternal. 4 days, 2 cities, countless adventures. That's South Florida in a nutshell.